I'm in Prague. Might have taken that last news story a little too personally. Maybe leaving the country was a bit of an overreaction. But I'm here now. I'm in Prague. Now, let's go back inside and I guess we'll talk about the new news. Hello everyone, this is Kevin, your entrepreneur, and yes, it is true, I am in Prague, in Czech Republic. You know, I don't know, I was just having a little bit of fun with those skits, but I figured it'd be a fun way to segue into why the background is different. I am in this wonderful room where it's got fan artwork, lamp, and for some reason, some woman left a blouse in the closet. It's not mine, I swear. Anyway, let's talk about Uber, because apparently I've got some stories to catch up on, and the one that people seem to want to hear the most about from me, even though I can explain it the least articulate, is basically the news that Uber might be selling some stock to SoftBank and some others. According to this article from the New York Daily News, and this is one thing that's nice about facing the camera again, as I can also read at the same time, is that Uber Technology Inc. shareholders and its board, led by venture capital firm Benchmark, have discussed selling some of their stock to Masayoshi Son SoftBank Group Corp. And other potential investors. Bloomberg reported on Friday, citing people familiar with the matter. The deal could include investment of new money into the startup, Bloomberg reported, adding that details about the valuation shares or how much SoftBank or other investors would buy were unclear. However, a CNBC report said SoftBank was not in discussions to buy stock in the ride-hailing service. Now, some people might be asking, so wait a minute. I thought Uber wasn't a publicly traded company yet. How can they be selling stock? Well, this is basically how Uber raises capital. This is how they raise money. This is how they fundraise. And this is how they get worth $70 billion on paper, even though they aren't trading yet. And one of the ways they do that is, of course, they sell shares in the company, but selling shares is different than selling stock. Shares in the company basically means that should the company go public, this is how much stock they're guaranteed when they go public and how much of the company they own. Now, this is a good way to raise money, and it's a way to get people invested in the company without having to go public. The thing is, the shares really aren't worth much. It's just in concept theory of how much it's worth. This is why it was kind of a big deal when there was like a report going on that Lyft shares were selling much higher on the black market than Uber shares were. Because whoever owns those shares, they get so many stock options when the company goes public. So it's not nothing, but it could potentially be very, very little if the IPO, which is the initial public offering, does not end up being a success. And there's a lot of reasons to suggest that an IPO at Uber would not be very successful right now. But Uber still needs to raise money, and that's why they're raising the booking fee. That's why they are continuing with the upfront pricing, although I have heard from some sources that Uber is actually going to severely scale back on that, if only because it's gotten them into way more trouble than it's worth. I mean, for the short while, it did gain them some extra money. But once people found out about it, it lost them a lot of customers. So but that's not here and there. Basically, Uber is selling these stocks to try and raise some more money because they still need to raise money. They're still losing a ton of money. They're losing less money, but they're still losing money. So, that's all this is, folks. It's not that big of a deal when you get down to it. But, hey, SoftBank says they're really not talking to Uber about selling shares. And I don't know. That's why I'm picking this particular report, because it kind of shows both angles. And I like showing all angles. I do. I'm totally biased against Uber, but I do like to be fair as possible. So anyway, so that's that story. What do you folks think about this? Do you think Uber is making a wise move by selling more shares to SoftBank? Do you want this to happen? Do you think it would be best if maybe Uber just held onto their cards a little longer? I would love to know. Comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy the videos I make, consider becoming a Patreon member or buying some swag from the Great Media Universe store. If you want to try driving for Uber or Lyft in you know, your own country, America, Canada, whatever. Use the referral link below. You'll get a nice little bonus. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.